Hello everyone and welcome to the Bearded Geeks, the weekly grab bag of topics covering movies, comics, video games and TV. My name is Jags, I am the Beard Master today. With me today, my co-host Patrick Brown.
Hey
buddy.
Mate, I'm back. It's been a while.
On air, congratulations. Your second son was born.
Thanks, mate.
How's that all going?
Yeah, good. Been good. Second time round now, and it's all coming back to me, this whole newborn thing.
The sleepless nights.
Yeah.
What else?
No, I've just been trying to get a hold of that, and also just trying to work as well. So gotta try and I work for myself, so I gotta make sure that I still bring the money in and
bring home the bacon.
Can't have too much of a break, which sucks. But yeah, I'm mostly doing like half days, and it's been quite good. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice and cruisy.
Half work, half baby kind of thing. Yeah. How's it going now with two? So you've got two now.
Yeah, it's actually pretty crazy. Some good days, some bad days. Like Mason won't make it easy for us. He's only 3, and he only has his moments, and then it's just a bit full on. You're like, oh, I got to deal with this one. Oh, and then we got this other one crying, and
but then kids everywhere.
But when they're together and it's all happy, it's just the best. Like,
it's bliss.
They're so good together. Mason always wants to hold him.
Proud dad, listen to him.
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
Good to have you back, mate. We missed you.
Yeah, thanks.
It's not the same. I missed the banter.
Yeah, I know. I love the podcast. I miss coming back all the time.
It'll iron out.
Yeah.
She'll all iron out.
Yeah.
Can't help it with these newborns, I suppose.
Yeah, things will smooth out, and then I can, come back. Be good.
Wicked. Now today, you know it, we're doing a Black Panther special today. So today, we're skipping news and everything today. Our entire episode is going to be Black Panther-centric. And it might be a bit shorter this week because we're just trying some different things, and Pat's got to leave in like 45 minutes. So.
That's all right.
So, Black Panther.
Yeah.
What do you know about the character? Like, did you know much about the character leading up to the movie?
No, not really. So before the movie and the build-up, I actually didn't really know of him at all until the past year or two. No, actually, I think I did probably a little bit, but not. No, he didn't stand out. I didn't really know much about him, and then I started to see a bit more of him, and I really liked his look, and especially coming up to Civil War, we got to have a good look at him there, and that was really cool. And that's really all I know about him, and loved what I saw and the way he is. It's just awesome. So I didn't really know his powers, what kind of powers he had, or anything like that, and his abilities, and. Yeah, so I'm pretty new to it all. Civil
War was a good introduction for you.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I think everyone who sort of has, like, a passing knowledge of comics and Marvel or whatever has a passing knowledge of the character. Like, this isn't the first time we've, like, well, we got to finish Black Panther movie, but this isn't the first time that, someone's tried to make one. Like, in 1992... Wesley Snipes was trying to get a Black Panther movie made with him starring.
Oh, really?
T'Challa and that. And he's still been saying for years and that, like, he wanted to play Black Panther and stuff.
Yeah.
But he got to play Blade, which is a very, sort of prolific Marvel character, Black Marvel character, which is pretty cool. So, me, with the MCU and Black Panther, I really liked his introduction in Civil War. I really liked the idea of bringing him in, his father, King T'Chaka. I'm going to be really bad with names here because everyone knows I'm mildly dyslexic. So, King T'Chaka. His dad was killed. And I really like the dynamic, kind of like the revenge dynamic in Civil War. I watched it again, actually the other night, like 3 or 4 nights ago. I watched it again. I put it on and watched it. And I really liked his introduction. I really liked the suit. I thought the suit was perfect. I really liked Chadwick Boseman, and some of the hints, like, they'd been building up to this character and everything. So, like, they talked about, vibranium in Age of Ultron and mentioned it in Captain America, the First Avenger.
Yeah.
They talked about Wakanda for the first time in Age of Ultron.
Yep. You got to see Claw in all.
You got to see Ulysses Claw and that in there as well, and he stole the vibranium and stuff
way back in Ultron.
And he'd been branded and everything, and also in the Shield base in Iron Man 2, they had the map in the background which had like the dot point on Africa, which everyone's like, "That's Wakanda."
Oh yeah,
Wakanda exists in this movie, in this universe, and that. So that was really cool. So leading up to this movie, when it was announced, I was a bit unsure. Like, I was like, this character that's kind of like pretty obscure to like a lot of sort of mainstream audiences and stuff, but like diehard Marvel fans and Marvel fans like know about him quite well. So I'm like, this could really sort of go either way. But like Marvel with their track record, you know, they know what they're doing. In Marvel, we trust.
Yeah, they're always pretty good with it.
So the movie released. We got it. What's today? Saturday. So we got it like 8 days ago. 8 days ago.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
I just checked the box office, like the worldwide box office. It, on about a $200 million budget, which is nothing to scoff at, it's made just over $520 million in like 7 or 8 days.
That's bloody good.
That's worldwide. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's near record breaking, isn't it?
Yeah, it has broken, like, I've got, funny you should mention that.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of records it's broken here. This isn't all the records it's actually broken, but it broke 18 box office records. I'm not going to read them all, but I'll cherry pick a couple. Biggest February opening weekend, biggest non-sequel opening weekend, all the, generic-y kind of. Biggest pre-summer opening weekend, second biggest Sunday gross, second biggest 4-day gross, fifth biggest opening weekend of all time. That's huge. What else is on here? Biggest opening weekend ever for any movie not directed by a white guy.
Yeah.
So, made by a black filmmaker.
Yep.
Which is really impressive. And biggest grossing movie in North America, directed by a black filmmaker.
Yep.
Dyslexia! What's wrong with me? I'm really going to struggle with these names when we get to the review.
Yeah.
It'll be alright. We didn't get to see the movie together. I watched it on the Thursday, and I think you went last weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a quiet moment, and I was just like, I kind of really want to sneak off to the cinema and see this. I kind of have to, So yeah, ducked out for a moment, and yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed.
Yep.
I just love going to the cinema in general.
Yeah.
Getting away for a bit.
Me too.
Yeah.
So we might just jump straight into our review because I'm just keeping my eye on the clock here.
Yeah,
You've got to go. So
no, you're right.
No, you're right, bud. So what's this movie about? It's set, I think they mentioned it at the beginning. There was like a news report in the beginning of the film. So they're watching this news report and they report about King T'Chaka, where he was killed. I think so. It's meant to be set like 7 to 10 days after Civil War. And then there's this sick opening. It's like this awesome like drop mission. Like they're in the ship and that, and he drops down into the jungle and like takes out like all these bad guys who were like transporting prisoners or slaves or whatever.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was a really cool scene. Like he's hiding up in the tree like a panther.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, that was wicked. That was a wicked shot. One thing I will say about that scene though is like I found it really dark, like to watch.
Yeah, me too.
Like when I was in the cinema, I couldn't really see what was going on. It was like it was too dark.
It's like you just kind of had to listen to the audio and you hear all the hits and
you get like the highlights of costumes and outfits and stuff, but it was quite dark. I don't know if maybe that was just my screening or whatever, but I found that scene really dark and hard to follow.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, so the movie goes on about T'Challa, played by Chadwick Boseman, and his, becoming king of Wakanda, and Eric Killmonger comes into the picture and causes trouble. So, what did you think of the world building of Wakanda? Like our first, like, real introduction, because the only sort of we saw at the end of Civil War, the scene where they freeze Bucky and they look out the window and it's all the jungle and they've got the massive like panther statue carved out of the mountain.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. What did you think of the introduction of Wakanda? Because I felt like this movie, it was, we get all the Earth set Marvel movies, so everything's familiar. Like we know everything. We've seen New York. We know, kind of what these Eastern European countries look like and all these sorts of things. But like Guardians of the Galaxy, they've been somewhere, even though they're on Earth, they've been somewhere we haven't actually been or seen before.
Yeah.
So they can pretty much got creative license to do whatever they want, to like create a look and all this sort of stuff. So what did you think about Wakanda? Because I thought it was excellent. Like the world building, it actually really felt like it's a city or a city-state that's existed for, however many years, hundreds of years or whatever. And it feels really lived in and really, really alive.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I really loved it. When you first get that vision of flying into the city and you just get this big view of
because it's all
everything.
shielded. It's like it's shielded by this big camouflage shield.
When I'm in there and you see and this city that's thriving and it's just booming and it looks amazing. It looks quite ancient, but then it looks so modern at the same time, which is a really good mix of something new that I thought was really, really nice. And I found it really believable too. Like, it didn't look too made up or just ridiculous. It was kind of like, I don't know why, but it really, I was drawn into it and I just fully accepted it and everything just stuck. And
because in Wakanda, they're technologically advanced.
Yeah.
Because, the city is built on this, or near this massive vibranium deposit. Yeah. Which, came from a meteorite that crashed into Africa, and that's where Wakanda was built.
Really clever.
So everything, in that city is, made and mined and run off vibranium. So I really loved it. I loved the city. It felt advanced, but not too advanced. Not too futuristic. It still felt very relatable and real. The buildings and everything looked very super modern, something you'd find in Hong Kong or China or something like that. But it wasn't too far removed from reality.
Yeah, it was great.
And they had all the maglev trains and all this sort of stuff and the cool ships and that flying over and that, which was really wicked. What did you think of Chadwick Boseman this time around, carrying the movie on his own?
I thought he did a great job. I thought it was awesome. And he really pulled it off even with the action scenes. And he's quite built too. He looks solid enough to the thing I always, same with Ben Affleck's Batman, I always look for, do the actual physique match the suit look, do they look that muscly? But with, T'Challa, he does. He looks pretty much the same build as Black Panther, maybe a bit more padding and a bit more muscular in the suit, but yes, it matched, and that's what I like, because I want to make sure that the real guy inside is still quite physically.
He's not wearing a padded suit and then the costume on top of that.
He needs to have that look like he can really take down all these people, and they really, he pulled that off. He must have worked out like hell, to get that. So good on him. He did a bloody good job, and he's a really good actor. I haven't seen him before really do anything, so I'm new to him as an actor, and I just thought he was brilliant.
It's funny you should say that about builds and physiques and whatever, because I rewatched Justice League last night, and there's this scene where they're getting ready to go to wherever to stop Steppenwolf, and everyone's got their costumes and that on, and Ben Affleck's getting around in the tactical, armored Batman suit. He's got his cowl and everything off. And he's just his arms are out at his side, he can't lower his arms any further because he's wearing this big bulky outfit, and he's sort of walking around with his arms out, bit wider than what they should be. They're not hanging properly. And
that's the thing. While we're on that real quick, I just wanted to mention, I watched that as well the other day, Justice League again. And it's funny when that scene when Ben Affleck comes out and he's got his, he doesn't actually take his suit off. You don't see what his real body looks like. And he still has that kind of fleshy suit on. You can just tell that he doesn't really have that full big
BVS physique.
Because let's be honest, the Batman, when he's got the suit on, he's basically like Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's massive.
Yeah, he's huge.
But it's just funny when he's not really that big, and they hide it well though. It still works.
I think he just didn't want to get as ripped, work as hard. Yeah. I'll do it, but I'm not taking my shirt off. Not taking your shirt off. I don't have to work out as much. It's funny you should say that, because I mentioned this to you the other day on the chat or texting or whatever. In Civil War, Black Panther's costume, I loved it. I thought that was absolutely 150, 200% perfect. His build was perfect. He wasn't too big. He wasn't too lean. Yeah. He was still a big guy, but he was really lean. You could tell he could move.
Yeah.
In this one, though, because he has a outfit change in this one, he gets an upgrade, and they have the outfits side by side, and you see the Civil War one, and you're like, damn, that's cool. And then they go over to the Black Panther suit, And, like, his pecs are fucking huge, like, on the suit. Like, they're really, like, exaggeratedly big. And he looks, like, real beefy in the upper chest. And I'm like, you know, he's a panther. He's got to be, like, sleek and fast and smooth. And,
yeah.
You know, that was one thing that kind of got made. That was one of my peeves about the movie. Like, the new suit looked too bulky, too beefy.
Yeah.
Like, I want the guy to be, like, svelte, like a panther.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have worked.
Which is why I love the Civil War suit. Absolutely 100%
Oh,
perfect.
it looks great.
They still use that in the opening scene.
Yeah.
And then he comes back to Wakanda and he gets the suit upgrade, which has got the spiffy new powers and that. We'll get into that a little bit later.
What was that third suit? Is that the one that Killmonger gets? Because it was invisible, kind of, wasn't it? It was just a necklace, I think.
Yeah, because his sister, Shuri, she's like the tech genius in this. She creates all the Black Panther suits and everything in that, and she creates it so you just put the necklace on, and the suit comes from the necklace. It's all contained within it, and then it just like goes over you and stuff.
Did you like that, the way that worked, or do you like actually putting a suit on?
I liked it. I liked it fine enough. I thought, because that's the thing we're talking about Wakanda, because these guys are like so technologically advanced. And this is the first time we've ever been there. They can pretty much do whatever they want.
Yeah.
So they have like all the like the black sand maps where like it was this black sand and then it whoosh, and it comes up and it's like all the buildings and stuff or cars, and they can spin it around and like look at the map and pick up like the cars and stuff and open them. And
that was interesting.
Yeah, that was really cool. I really liked that tech side, but it was still like sort of like culturally relevant to them as well.
And the way they can heal people from near death, you know, like especially the main guy. And
yeah, like someone gets shot and they're like, they're gonna die. They're like, not at Wakanda, we'll take them back and fix them up. They'll be right. Yeah,
and he's like spine's been shattered or something, and they fix that. It's amazing how, it's pretty cool how they can do that.
But yeah, it gives them that license to kind of do whatever they want. Like, how far are we going to take this? Like, how technologically advanced are they?
Yeah.
Like, can they fix, like, a shattered spine or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But to go back to the suit, I like that idea. Like, it fit into that sort of Wakanda aesthetic, like, how advanced they are, like, technologically, which was really cool. And they had, like, the cool little gizmos, like, you throw on cars.
Yeah,
and
that was awesome.
Remote, like, it brings up, like, a VR car, like, at the lab, and you can be driven remotely and all this sort of stuff.
Kind of like a video game. You kind of, like, you're driving the car from another location. That's really cool.
That was the thing I loved about this movie. It was like a Bond movie.
Yeah.
It was like, because his sister, Shuri, played by Letitia Wright, she was awesome. She was my favourite thing.
Yeah, she was good.
She was absolutely wicked. And she's like the tech genius in that.
Yeah.
And like, it'd be interesting to see when they get to Infinity War. And because obviously they're going to be in Wakanda, and hopefully maybe Tony and her have a bit of, back and forward. They can bit of tech smash their brains together back and forward.
See, that's another thing with her character and is it T'Challa? Like, they had great chemistry, and that, like, brother and sister, they really bounced off each other well, and she was just so more natural, like a normal, just having a good laugh. Nothing was too serious.
Yeah, she was more like a kid. Like, she wasn't, because she was the tech genius. Yeah. She creates all the, all the tech, the Black Panther suits and all that sort of stuff, but she's still very down to earth. She's pretty much just a kid, who's genius.
Like, even that scene when they come in to Wakanda and they meet, and the mother is standing there, and then, the daughter goes up past her, and they're all just interacting, but they really do feel like a family because they're not so stiff and just bland. They really connect. Like, they're all actually having a bit of a laugh, bit of a quirk here, there, and then it just I love that about it, and I think that's what made it so much more enjoyable to watch, and I don't know, it just felt more relatable, I suppose.
Well, let's go on to the characters now. We'll expand the bubble a bit more.
Yeah.
Like you say, the dynamic between T'Challa and Shuri and his mother, Ramonda, played by Angela Bassett. She was great too, by the way. So they're at this point where they're grieving and stuff, and, because the T'Chaka's been killed, and T'Challa's got to go for, like, his rite of passage, like, to become king and stuff. We'll get to that in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
We're kind of already doing the spoilery, aren't we?
Oh, yeah.
People have seen it. Fuck it.
May as well.
Full spoilers.
May as well.
Full spoilers. So I really liked the dynamic of all the characters. So when like T'Challa got back, there was this scene. It's in the trailer actually. He's talking to shit. I forget all their names. Lucky I wrote them down. Okoye, played by Danai Gurira, who's actually Michonne in The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah.
She's the leader of the Dora Milaje, who's the personal bodyguard for like the king.
Yeah.
Like these women like warriors and that who are badass.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Yeah, the Dora
she was great.
Yeah, she was great actually in that role. But in the trailer, she's like the don't freeze. Like when he's on the plane, he's like, I never freeze. And she actually says that to him because he's going down to like save his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And then when he gets down there, he actually does freeze when he sees her.
Yeah.
And then someone's shooting at him and he turns around and bam.
He's too busy talking to her or something.
Yeah. I really liked this dynamic, especially when they got to like the ritual scene, like to become king, because there's like a rite of passage where he has to have like a one-on-one fight. And he's stripped of his Black Panther abilities. So they, I
love that idea. That was so cool.
Like he has it, but like we're going to take it away and you've got to do it on your own. And then when you win, you'll get your powers back. I really liked that scene, like with the waterfall and everything. And it really felt like a real, not so much a community or a kingdom or whatever, but all these people were like really in sync. It was like a big cultural thing.
And you could feel that some sides were like, oh, don't lose. Like you could actually feel they were real tense. And they were like, we're counting on you right now. Like we want you to be the king. Yeah. And
And the relationships, even though this is the first time we ever saw them, they really felt very well developed. Like these people are a family. These guys are friends and they've known each other for years and they know everything about each other and they play off each other really well.
Yeah.
It's not like another... Because all the other Marvel movies sort of up to this point, they're all really origin stories. Like this is kind of an origin story, but it's already sort of like... It's sort of in the middle of the story, not like right at the beginning. Like this is when they first get their powers and, because he's a prince and everything and he's been... like built toward being the king like his entire life and stuff. Yeah. Which is also... This movie's pretty much The Lion King. Did you notice that?
No.
There's it's very sort of Shakespearean, this movie. Like, the fallen prince, the fallen king. It pretty much is The Lion King. So, like, he's destined to become king. Like, he gets, like, defeated or frightened away and he goes and then the bad guy becomes the king. And then he has the scene where he has the vision. And he's on the plains and like all the Black Panthers are in the trees and he sees his dad. He gets to talk to his dad. That's like the cloud scene in The Lion King where Mufasa appears like in the clouds and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, Simba, you've forgotten me. And there's like that scene and then at the end he becomes king again. So pretty much it's just like The Lion King, this movie.
Yeah.
It was awesome, which is fine with me because I love that movie.
Yeah. It's a great setup.
What did you think of Michael B. Jordan as Eric Killmonger?
Yeah, I liked him. At first I wasn't sure how his characters... Like, I was trying to work out how he's portraying him in that, but because at first he was very kind of, like, because you see him in that scene in the museum and that, he was very modern day, very, he was dressed nicely and, a hipstery kind of look about him. I don't know, but it showed that he'd grown up in our world. Yeah. And that was really cool and it just gave a nice spin to it. But yeah, I loved the way that all played out. I thought he did a great job as that. And he was massive too. He was a real threat. Like, he just looked... So, especially when he took off his clothes and you just see all those marks, and he mentions that every one is a kill.
All the scars. He's all like
those scars.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's pretty crazy. It just makes him seem way more threatening visually. You're just like, every single one of them is a dead body.
Yeah. And it goes a long way to legitimizing that character and that threat. Yeah. Like, you can see it visually. It's like every one of these is a kill.
It's not just said and it's just forgotten. You see it every time.
I've killed 400 people. Like, whatever. Yeah. You can see it. It's like visually there all the time. Like, all over him. All over his arms, all over his chest, all over his back. I really liked his introduction scene in the museum. I thought it was great. I really love the character. I think he is one of the best Marvel characters, Marvel villains. Beg your pardon, Marvel villains that they've had. The only problem I had is he had that great opening scene, and he was like so arresting, like from the beginning, and then he disappears for like an hour, and then comes back like on the the airplane strip scene where he sees Ulysses Claw again.
Yeah.
I think they had to like move that out of the way. I think it would have been more interesting if there was less Ulysses Claw and more Eric Killmonger.
Oh, yeah. I really loved that setup of Michael B. Jordan's character. So clever. The way that he was taken away like from his father. Like his father was killed and then he's just left to fend for himself. And he must have had this rough bringing up. I just thought that was great. Like, I reckon a lot of people could probably relate. I just think it's a really smart way to do it, and then it really gives him a reason to have so much hate and turn into such a bad character. Whereas if you really think about it, he could have been such a nice guy. Like he would have been, if he just had the right bringing up, he could have just been, the nicest person, and it didn't have to be like that. So it makes it way more real.
Because we are talking spoilers, so we go full spoilers.
Yeah.
In the opening scene, there's this, there's two men in this apartment, and they're setting up like this weapons deal, and then King T'Chaka turns up, like youngified, like in 1991 or 92, something like that. It's early 90s. And we find out that this guy is he was trying to smuggle weapons from Wakanda, like vibranium weapons, like out into the real world, because this plays into the film later on, but we find out that the guy who's there is actually the king's brother and Eric Killmonger's father. And we find out that T'Chaka actually kills him, and then Eric comes back to the apartment, finds his dad dead with, Black Panther claws in his chest. And ever since then, like, he's just, like, hell-bent on revenge because he's learnt about Wakanda. His dad's told him about Wakanda because that's where he's from. And he's like, I'll take you there someday. It's the most beautiful place. And we have all these things, this great technology and everything.
Yeah.
And then later on, when Eric comes to Wakanda, he challenges T'Challa because he's actually his cousin, and he has the right to challenge because, he has the king's blood as well. And then he ends up defeating T'Challa, throws him off a waterfall, and he becomes the king of Wakanda. And his whole motivation, it's not like a selfish one or your classic movie villain. He's like, I want to rule the world, I want to destroy the world and all that. He comes from the real world where he's seen black people oppressed, and he's talking about we've tried to start revolutions and that, but we never had the tech. Like, if we had the tech, we could have stopped the oppression and the bigotry and everything. And he's like, so his whole deal is he wants to ship vibranium weapons out into the world and just give them just to all these people and that, and for them to rise up and like end the oppression and everything that's been tied in to, his people.
Yeah.
For all these years.
Yeah.
So he's kind of got like a noble cause, but it's in like a roundabout sort of bad guyish way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how we do it, we're just going to do it.
It's
Guns,
like he did not
vibranium.
didn't care about Wakanda at all. He's like, I want to take this place down and just,
and he's just like, you guys have had this tech like forever. He's like, you people are out there. Isn't this originally where we came from? He's like, and we're all out there, and you're just watching us like struggle and die and be oppressed. And he's like, you could have helped. He's like, why not? And they're like, because you haven't come from that world. He's like, I've lived there. He's like, I've seen it all. He's like, I know what it's like out there. He's like, I would just want to help my people. He's like,
yeah.
So I want to
very
send them out.
Strong and bold move. That wasn't
it's a very powerful message. I perhaps don't articulate it the right way, but the message is it's a very strong, very powerful message. It's not like I'm going to end the world, or I'm going to rule the world, or I'm going to get all the money and all that stuff. He has underlying is a very noble cause.
Yeah, it wasn't so generic like, for once.
It's not just about himself. He's thinking about everyone else.
Yeah,
And there's this one scene, again, we're doing full spoilers because we decided halfway through, the scene where he takes the heart-shaped flower, where they get the power of the Black Panther. He takes it, and then once you take it, they bury you in the sand, and then you have like a vision, and you go off to like this to the next plane of existence or whatever, pretty much into the realm of the dead or whatever, if you want to say, to paraphrase it, make it easy to understand. But for him, it's not like an African plane or anything like that. It's the apartment he grew up in.
Yeah.
And then his dad's there, and he has like this conversation. I can't even remember it. Like, he has this conversation with his dad, but it's like really powerful. And like Michael Jordan just like sheds this one tear, and I got a bit choked up watching it. I was like, it's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's really pulling at my heartstrings.
Good way to flesh out his character too, not make him so, they actually gave him a story, which was great. Like, went real deep with for the bad guy. Like, it's good.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I really liked his character. The only problem was I just would have loved to have seen so much more of him.
Yeah. And I think it's a pity that, obviously we're going to spoil this. I think it's a pity that they killed him off at the end.
But the way he went out was great.
Yeah.
Because, he was defeated by T'Challa, and, he said, he's like, you better just kill me now. He's like my ancestors before me who, jumped off the ship and drowned on the way over. He's like, I'd rather die than live in chains.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, that's like really powerful and stuff. And like, props to Marvel and to Ryan Coogler, who's the director who previously directed Fruitvale Station, which I haven't seen, and Creed, which was fucking awesome movie. One of my favorite movies.
Awesome.
2015 or whatever it was, 2016. Yeah, the character was fantastic. Top 3 best Marvel villains. In no particular order. Loki, Killmonger, and the Vulture, I'd say.
Yeah.
Oh, and Wilson Fisk.
I just think that, like with most movies like this, the one thing I always hate is when they kill off a good villain, and like it's just like, it's just wasted now, and you'll never be able to use him again.
Just for the sake of killing them.
But yeah, and like, but this did kind of work, and I was like, okay, I accepted that. This was one of those ones where I was like, all right.
It fit with like his ideals and his ultimate mission.
But I just think it's such a shame that they can't use him again now. Well, who knows? They could bring him back. I don't know how, but but yeah, I would have loved to have more of him later. So it's a bit of a shame, but great character, bloody awesome.
Let's talk about some of the like visual effects and stuff.
Yeah,
I thought Wakanda looked amazing. I thought all the production design and that was really good in that as well.
Yeah.
Like Shuri's lab was awesome. The vibranium mine looked cool.
Yeah.
But I thought all the CG looked great right up until the end where Black Panther is fighting Killmonger. They're both wearing like Black Panther suits.
Yeah.
And they're fighting in the vibranium mine, like on the train track. Again, it was like really dark, and these guys are wearing like very dark suits. Yeah. And you can't really see what's going on.
Yeah. And
the CG just looked real cartoony as well.
Like
it's like they went back.
Like when they're falling and punching each other and stuff.
It doesn't have that weight to it.
Yeah.
It has that, like, it's real light, and you can tell it's CG.
Yeah.
But, we're kind of used to that by now.
I still quite liked it. I enjoyed the way that, even though you could obviously tell it was all CG, I still love a good action scene, and I thought it was pretty well done, but still, like you said, clearly fake and just, a little bit too not realistic moving enough, you know what I mean? Yeah.
I think the best thing about this movie, not just the relationships and everything, but the world building. So Wakanda, all the history, all the tribes that went into building Wakanda, the Jabari, who the mountain tribe.
Yep.
And M'Baku, who was the leader of the mountain tribe, he's Man-Ape in the comics.
Yeah.
I liked how they kind of had that throwback where he's fighting him on the waterfall, because normally he wears like a big white like gorilla outfit kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the bottom half he has like the skirty kind of thing.
I saw an image of that. It looks cool.
In the movie, he comes out and he comes out from the cave and he's this massive dude. He's bloody huge.
Yeah.
But instead of like a big woolly like gorilla suit, he just has like white like paint like kind of like all over his chest and that, and it still gives off that sort of Man-Ape kind of look.
And the mask.
That was really cool. That was a really great way that they did that. I really liked this movie. I thought it looked great. I thought the characters were great. The relationships were great.
Yeah.
The set pieces were really cool. I liked the casino scene where they went to
that was
Busan.
awesome.
That was like a Bond movie. That was like straight out of a Bond movie.
I actually really liked Claw as well. I didn't, and I think that's a shame that he died. I thought it was kind of good because it was like you didn't expect it. You usually don't expect them to kill them off, especially halfway through the movie. So that was also, that gave that bit of a shock value there. You're like, oh, holy crap, he's actually dead.
Yeah.
But his character was awesome. Andy Serkis is the best. He was just, I don't know, he was just really kind of immature in a way, but he was
really over the top.
Bit of a threat too. Like, he was really, I really enjoyed his character.
The scene where they're in the car, there's this car chase and they're going along and there's no music or anything. He's like, this is really crap. He's like, let me put on a mixtape. Let's put some music on. You got any music in this thing? And they turn the music on and it's like, dun 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 dun.
What about when he's in the interrogation room and he starts singing What Is Love?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I liked everything about this movie. I really liked Killmonger's outfit, like his pre-Black Panther, like the blue shirt thing with the body armor.
Yeah.
And that, like, he just looked like real tactical and stuff. Yeah, and he looked awesome. His hair looked awesome.
And I liked the way his suit had that, was it like that counterattack thing where it shoots back power, like, if he gets struck and it stores the energy and if it hit again and it shoots it back out.
That was one bit I didn't really like.
Didn't like that?
It was cool enough, but
yeah,
you know, every hit he takes, like if he gets shot, he absorbs the energy from the hits and then he can like, you know, blast it, you know, do like this big eruption of energy and blow people away.
It made me wonder, how does it work? Is it with every hit it has to shoot itself out? Like every second hit it releases it, or is he able to just keep storing it?
He's able to store it and then release it.
With the bullets, I was like, surely that'd be releasing at least a few like bits of power there and there, but it looked like he was actually deliberately holding it all in.
He's able to store the energy.
Which was really cool, and I was like, how does he
Did you like all the purple lighting and stuff over the suit?
I actually really did, yeah. I liked the look of that. It looked quite cool. Yeah, purple and the black go well. I thought that looked really cool.
And Killmonger's suit, which was more threatening. It was like the Black Panther mask, but then it had teeth, like on the front of the suit, and his energy absorption was more gold, so it's easier to differentiate the two when they're fighting.
Yeah.
The fight scene at the end, like before Killmonger and that fight, like all the tribes where they're fighting out on like the plane and that, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was brutal. And they get the rhinos to come out. That's crazy.
The armored rhinos and that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually really liked the dynamic in that because Okoye, who's the head of the Dora Milaje, and Wakabi, played by Daniel Kaluuya, he's a member of one of the tribes who they're sort of like undercover at one of the villages, like on the edge of the shield. So like people can't get into and find Wakanda. They're actually lovers, you know, they're a couple. And there's a scene at the end where they're sort of on, you know, opposite sides of the battle. So, you know, Daniel Kaluuya's on one side and she's on, you know, T'Challa's side, and she's like, you know, don't do this, my love, and everything. And and they have to fight, and there's more stakes there because, well, you know what's going to happen. It's all going to end happily in the end, but there's just that more added stakes there, because they are like a couple and stuff, and on opposing sides of this fight, and that was really cool. I liked that. I liked everyone in this movie. I thought they were great. Chadwick Boseman was awesome. Michael B. Jordan was amazing. Denai Guerrero was awesome as Okoye. If I'm pronouncing these wrong, I'm sorry. Lupita Nyong'o, was it Nyong'o? She played Nakia, who was T'Challa's sort of ex. I got real funny about that because I'm like, in the comics, T'Challa actually gets married to Storm. For the X-Men. And I'm just like, when I was watching them have their scenes together, I was like, they could kill her off now in one of the other movies and then bring Storm in and then they could fall in love and get married and it'd be awesome.
Especially since they have X-Men now and the Marvel actually have X-Men, they could eventually do that.
They could introduce her that way. That could be one of the ways they introduce her.
Yeah.
I liked everyone in this, but the absolute standout for me was Letitia Wright, who played Shuri. She played, what was her name? Nash or Nasi in the Black Museum episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah,
she was in that last episode of the newest season.
Yeah, that was a good episode.
She was absolutely fantastic. I was grinning from ear to ear when she was like this tech genius, but she's also just like a kid. Yeah, and you're just like,
she brings across this great energy on the
screen. It just makes you smile when she's on screen.
Just when they're doing like the handshake and stuff, and then she just gives this little grin, like real cheeky kind of, you know, it's just stuff like that. Just little touches like that
And she's giving him a hard time about his girlfriend and stuff, and he's like, "Oh, shut up," and all this shit.
Yeah.
You know, just like as brother and sisters do.
Yeah.
I didn't actually think of this, but now I heard this online the other day, and I'm like, this is perfect. Because of, you know, what's going to happen in these Infinity War movies is Iron Man going to get killed off, Captain America going to get killed off. Are they going to step away when their contracts are up? You know, who could be the next Iron Man? And obviously in the comics at the moment, they have, is it Riri or whatever her name is? She plays Ironheart.
It's like a female one, Iron Man, isn't it?
She's like a 15-year-old kid, and she built her own Iron Man suit, and she's Ironheart. They could change this for the future, and like Shuri, she could be the next Iron Man.
I could see that.
Ironheart, because I actually read this. I think it was an interview with Kevin Feige, and he said that, you know, Shuri is probably more intelligent than Tony Stark is.
Yeah,
you know, she's probably like the most prolific tech genius in the MCU at the moment. So, like, why couldn't she be the next Iron Man or Ironheart? Yeah,
exactly.
I was like, fuck. I'd watch that movie. Take my money, I'll watch that movie.
Yeah.
So the movie ends with T'Challa and that deciding to finally reveal themselves to the world, because everyone thinks Wakandas, they're all just like Sherpas and sheep farmers and stuff. And, you know, it's all about textiles. They don't know that they're the most advanced continent in the world, or, you know, city-state in the world.
They do that condescending tone, do they? What have you got to offer us?
What have you... Fucking everything, mate. So yeah, they're going to finally reveal themselves to the world. And I'm actually excited for Infinity War because we get to go back to Wakanda so soon. Yeah. Because when I finished watching this movie, I was like, more of them, more Black Panther, please. Yeah. I want more.
And Bucky.
Bucky was at the end.
I reckon that he's obviously going to get a new advanced arm from...
Big vibranium bitchin' arm.
Yeah, imagine that. That'd be awesome.
That'll be sick. Hopefully, I imagine they got like all the programming out of his head, like all the Hydra programming out of his head, because he's like living in one of the villages and that, and he looks pretty happy, pretty content. So, yeah. One thing I will bring up, actually, this is just a little tidbit about the movie. Ryan Coogler, when he was in like really early production on the movie, he wanted to bring in Kraven the Hunter, like to fight T'Challa and that. He wanted to have him in there in some capacity, because...
That'd be great.
Yeah, there's this great storyline from years ago on that, where Kraven's in Wakanda and it's Kraven versus Black Panther and that, and he really wanted that, and they're like, nah, you can't do that, we don't have Kraven. He's like, but that'd be so cool if we had Kraven.
That would have been Sony's amazing.
Got Kraven, so...
Yeah, I really would love to see Kraven on the big screen. And I don't even mind if it's not with Spidey at first, because... Introduce him with Black Panther, and then
like
later...
he starts in Wakanda, and then by the end of it, he's like,
he's in New York, and
he's like, I'm going to go hunt some other prey somewhere else, and he's like, I'm going to go hunt Spider-Man or something like that.
He wants the trophy,
yeah.
That'd be amazing.
That would be sick.
Yeah.
I'd pay to watch that movie.
Because he's that way, he's not grounded to a certain hero. You know, usually heroes and villains are always locked towards each other, and it's just them fighting against each other. But if, you know, you could have Kraven fight Black Panther first, then he can go off to Spidey. I would love to see that. I think it'd be great. Final thoughts on the movie, mate? Amazing. I really enjoyed it from start to finish.
Too. Yeah, I did too.
I was not bored. I thought, you know, I was really engrossed into it, and yeah, that's what you want. And I'd say it was just a really good ride right through, and I enjoyed all the characters. Acting was great, and the action was amazing, and yeah, great movie. Yep. Go see it.
Oh, yeah, I loved it too. I had a great time. Definitely up there, one of the best Marvel movies.
Yeah.
What would you give it out of 5? Because this is what I've been struggling with.
Out of 5?
The amount of hype, like, behind this movie, you kind of, like, if you say anything bad about it, people are going to have a go at you. You're going to get in trouble. Like... We're just talking about the movie like we would any movie we've talked about. Yeah. You know, it's got nothing to do with, you know, the colour of your skin or anything like that, because racism is stupid. I don't understand. Why do you hate someone just because their skin's a different colour? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway, but as a movie, like, when I watch this, I'm like, that's a 4-star movie. That's a solid 4. But then when I went away and I thought about it, I'm like, maybe 3? I'm like, no, I liked it more than a 3, so I'm thinking 3.5.
Oh, really? Yep. Yeah, I'm sitting on 4.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think about it, and it was absolutely great in every way. But then I think about it, and I'm like, I have seen better, like, for me, I've more enjoyable ones. Like, I know I'm personally, I love Spider-Man, I was really on Spider-Man Homecoming. That was almost a 5 for me.
That was a 5 for me, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I could sit Panther at 4, I reckon.
Because every problem I have with it is just like little personal like nitpicks and stuff. Like, the suit was too beefy, and I wasn't a big fan of the purple, and I would have liked to see more Killmonger, and these are just like little personal quibbles.
Yeah.
You've talked me up to a 4 now. I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4, definitive. 4 out of 5 for Black Panther.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, when I was trying to compare it, I was like, we had Doctor Strange, last year, the year before? I was like, because that felt like a Phase 1 movie, because that was just like a full-blown introduction. Whereas this feels like a current MCU movie, but it's still introducing Wakanda and
it's not really an origin.
Everything like that. It's not really an origin story, but...
It's more of a... Yeah, because we've already
an
seen
already established character moving on to bigger things.
And you get to know. It's really just a get to know Black Panther. And
get to know this world, get to know the rest of his extended family and characters and everything in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
With a great story. Yeah. That's the other thing that goes for it. It's just an absolutely great story, you know. Like you said, nothing's really generic in it. Like, they don't do the whole end of the world thing, which I am always against. I hate that shit. Not against, it's just we've seen it a million times.
Seen it 100 times.
Yeah.
Blue beams in the sky.
So this was good to see them they're finally not doing that. They're keeping it grounded and more personal. So it was really good.
Awesome. 2 4s.
I'm a solid 4.
All right, mate, we better wrap it up because you got to go.
Yeah, no worries.
People want to find you online. Where can they find you?
PatrickBrownArt.com. I'm actually using Instagram a lot these days too.
You are too.
Yeah.
I keep seeing these Instagram pops that Patrick Brown's posted, and I'm like, oh.
I don't know why I haven't touched it so much before. It's just always had my mind somewhere else, and I'm working too much, and I just don't really. I'm not really a social media person. I'm not really too active, but lately I've been quite active on Instagram, so I'm really enjoying using that. Most of it at the moment
sketches and stuff.
It's been old sketches that I've done for the past.
That Ninja Turtles one you did the other day.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks to you for the little inspiration there.
Because we were just texting, having a chat, and then out of the blue, I'm just like, mate, you should do more Ninja Turtles fan art. You don't do enough. and then you did like a Leo pic.
And after I got off the phone, I was like, I kind of really feel like drawing Ninja Turtle now. You just got me going. I was like, all right.
It's like the old days.
I dropped work. I was like, give me half hour. I'm going to just do some fun sketching. So.
Yep.
But no, yeah. And what else? I'm also on DeviantArt, Patrick Brown Art on that. And actually, it's just Patrick Brown. Sorry, I always get that wrong. And that'll do.
That'll do. And if you want to find the Bearded Geeks online, we're on Facebook, facebook.com/BeardedGeeksPod. If you want to listen to the show, we're on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube.
Buy a t-shirt.
You can buy a t-shirt, TeePublic if you want. We're on Instagram and Twitter. Leave us a review, like, share, and subscribe.
Awesome. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to have you back, mate.
Feels good.
Bob and I are actually going to be joining you on stage for your panel as well, for the illustration panel. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I might just like, Patrick, where do you get all your great ideas?
We can all hold hands.
I'm just going to ask you some questions.
That'd be good. We can all
that'd be fun.
Up on stage. I actually don't know what to expect. I don't know if it's an entire room, like full of people.
Well, it's going to be a moderated panel, so there's going to be someone there moderating and asking questions and stuff, and pulling all the questions out of you or us and whatever and that now. I don't know what much I'm going to say, but I'll be there in spirit. And there's a Q&A from the audience as well.
Yeah, cool.
The 3 or 4 people that
I'm
might be there.
looking forward to that.
It'll be fun.
Because we do that. We're going to do the artist one, and then we get to do the podcast
one as well. Yeah.
And that'll be really cool.
We're doing the illustrations panel and the podcast workshop. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
You back me out.
And then we get to go to dinner.
Yeah.
Free
Is it free? Is it free?
Yeah.
Wicked.
As far as I know.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Good. I'm going to look forward to that for the next 2 months.
Yeah, boy. Looking forward to it.
All right, everyone.
Oh, what was that?
All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week on the Bearded Geeks. Hey! Love you, mate.